Right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Let's go ahead and get started. I'll just start introducing myself since I have the first few slides. My name is Mariah Blevins. I'm CFHI's Programs and Student Engagement Coordinator. Today, we're here with our wonderful India Director to talk a little bit about India and our programs there, as well as some of our amazing alumni who have done our programs there as well. So I'm just gonna maybe pass it over to you, Hema, to introduce yourselves, and then we can let the alumni introduce themselves, and then we can get started.
All right, thank you, Mariah. Hi, everyone. My name is Hema Pandey, and I'm the Director for Programs for India, based out of New Delhi, the capital city of India. And I've been with CFHI for 20 plus years now. So, very, very fortunate to be here. And thank you, everyone, for joining. Um, Over to Samiksha and Aman to introduce themselves.
Yeah, I can go next. Hi, everyone. My name is Samiksha. I am currently a student at Ohio State University, and I'm studying public health. I participated in the Dehradun and Rural Himalayas Global Health in India program with CFHI this past July, and then starting at the beginning of the year, I'm now serving as one of the alumni directors for the program. I'm happy to share with you all today.
All right, hi. I'll have my camera on in a little bit. Sorry, friends, but my name is Amanjot. I am a currently a project manager at Epic Systems, which is a health IT company. Before that, I was a student at UW-Madison, and I did the CFHI New Delhi program June 2025, and mostly focusing on the public health side of things as an undergrad student. Absolutely loved it. Looking forward to talking about it today.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone. So before we get into the India specifics, I'm just going to give a really brief overview of CFHI. For those of you who've done some exploring on our website, you might already know a little bit about us, and for those of you who are enrolled. But just to kind of get your wheels turning and to found the conversation to start, CFHI is a nonprofit organization, and what we offer are ethical, fair trade, global health immersion programs to students like yourself and academic institutions. In a nutshell, a CFHI program, of course, is a beautiful opportunity to travel abroad, to get to learn directly from our local teams in the country that you're visiting, learn about another healthcare system, do different types of health activities and rotations, and of course, immerse yourself in another culture. Our statement, our mission statement, I guess you could say, is that we are dedicated to transformative global health education, research, and thought leadership, emphasizing community leadership, global citizenship, and ethical engagement. So, just to unpack what this means, I like to point out our tagline, which is let the world change you. And I think that it really reminds us that global health is not about fixing or saving. It's much more about listening, learning, and being open to different experiences, approaching global experiences with humility, with openness, with, with curiosity and the ability to reflect and to learn with a transformative perspective. In the past and even still today, there have been some approaches to global health engagement that maybe are not very ethical or sustainable for different reasons. So, CFHI's mission is really to challenge that traditional colonial or savior approach to global health and have our learners understand that they're a learner, again, going into another community, and there's so much and so many beautiful things we have to learn from the world. The world is our teacher, and that's, kind of what it means to join a CFHI program and to build your skills around global citizenship. And all of this has come about, we have offered programs for over 30 years now. We have programs currently in 10 different countries. We offer in-person and virtual programs. At this point, we've sent over 17,000 alumni abroad on our program. So if you were to join a program, you are joining a cohort of over 17,000 alumni. And there's just a lot of thought leadership that has gone into the way that CFHI structures our programs. So I always encourage you, if you're interested or passionate about ethical global health engagement, just to take a look at our website. We have a lot of like articles and research that we support or we've been a part of. So if you're curious, I definitely encourage you to check out our website. But there are a few things that set CFHI apart, maybe from other organizations you've heard of or been a part of. One, we are in special consultative status with the United Nations, and we are specifically in the status with the Economic and Social Council, which really recognizes that we bring to life Sustainable Development Goals and other WHO initiatives. We're also a recognized nonprofit for our work in transparency, diversity and inclusion, and our leadership in experiential education. And lastly, and most importantly, which is kind of what I just touched on, but CFHI's framework is unique because we really prioritize preserving the authenticity of the local community's expertise and nest our programs in very intentional, educational, and ethical best practices. And just a little to further on our approach is unique because we really emphasize the existing health systems and resources that are within the community you're visiting. We hold up the local practitioners as the experts of their own environments. They're really the ones who are responsible for owning that narrative of your program. And we also encourage students not to take a deficit-oriented approach. Instead, the program intentionally highlights different strengths and assets that are present within the community you're visiting, which, hopefully allows for a much more authentic, balanced, and well-rounded understanding of everything you're learning in, rotations or health activities that contrasts maybe what you would experience here in the US as you're, finishing up your undergrad, thinking about medical school, maybe you're in medical school. So there's so much to learn, of course, and to absorb from the world as our teacher, and this is exactly what is really emphasized in our programs. Just some other things, we do also practice fair trade learning in partnerships, and we have long-standing relationships with all of our global team members. Hema, of course, our India director, is one of them, so you'll get to hear from her shortly. And then a couple of other things that we do uniquely is facilitate cross-cultural training and preparation for your experience just to make sure you're really well prepared to go abroad. And then we also encourage critical reflection before, during, and after. So those are just a few things that make CFHI's approach unique. Um, and while we're talking about like colonialism and saviorism, which is of course what this program is not, I think it's also good to highlight the impacts that you are having as a visiting student on the host community and the host partner. So there's just a few examples on this slide, but the intention behind our programs is that there is like a bi-directional beneficiation of what's happening between the host student or the host partners as well as the students. So for the partners and the communities, having visiting students improves English proficiency. It can increase the prestige of the different organizations or host institutions. It can increase the ability to build networks and associations locally, having visiting students there. And then it also is helping fulfill our local practitioners' sense of global citizenship, right? Helping them also be a part of something bigger than themselves in the same way that you are as a student. And then lastly, it can help increase the resources to the community that you're visiting as well. And they are also learning from you like you are learning from them. So that's a really brief overview of CFHI and just our mission and who we are. We also like to share this quote, which was from actually our medical director of India, who said, "As a global citizen of the world, if I am able to educate a student from any other nation, and he feels a little softer about places that are not as economically well off, then from that perspective, of course, it is beneficial because we are benefiting some students living in affluent nations to have a more balanced view of life." So yeah, we like to share that because it really does encapsulate the CFHI experience from your perspective as a student joining the program, and of course, what it means to go out and let the world change you. So with that, I will hand it over to you, Hema, and please feel free to cue me when to change the slide and when to play the videos.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Mariah, and thanks once again, everyone, for joining. So I think before we get into the slides, I would really love everyone to have some visuals to India. And here are a few videos, that were created by one of the students, one of the alumni now. And she has really put in a great work in these videos to give, people some perspective about India. So, Mariah, may I please request you to start playing one by one? Thank you.
Let me know if you can hear it okay.
Not yet. I think we need to share the sound, maybe.
Let me see. Still can't hear it?
Quietly,
Yes, now we can hear.
These old city streets used to be alone. Now it's never me. Do you need a change? These are weary words counting down the days. We're both too afraid. Getting on, leading our faith. Too close to fail.
And would you like me to play the next one as well?
Sitting with my pride, thinking anytime you could just get up and go. Now, and I realize that love, you're in control. Now, take me home. Stop the fire away, shut down outer space, landed but I'm not. Oh. Sinking in your ocean, just like he designed me to do. Fall into. I'm riding your way, now you're way, only days to me. Take me to the end, drag me through your land, show me what I need to see. Thinking you look just like he designed me to.
All right. And last one.
Uh, Mariah, should we move on to the slides? Because I think the audio is a little bit scratchy.
Yeah, sure, that's okay. I'll put the link to the other one in the chat, and then students can go watch it on their own time.
All right.
If
Thank you
that's
so
okay.
much, Mariah, for that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Let me go back. Okay.
All right. Yeah. So, yeah. Um, Coming to the overview of India. So, I'm sure most of you know that now India is the world's most populated country with almost 1.5 billion people. And you'll be surprised to know that India only has world's 2% of landmass, and we have 22% of world's population. So, as you may have seen in the visuals, so many people at one place. So that is nothing to be like, it is something to be embraced, that so many people still living in harmony. So we have about 29 states and 5 union territories. India is supposed to be the world's largest democracy and fourth largest economy. And also, it's we take pride in this that India has the world-class recognition in information technology, biotechnology, and space. India also has the largest English-speaking population outside any English-speaking country, and second largest pool of scientists, engineers in the world. I would like to also uh, uh, would like you to pay attention to these pictures. So, Atiti Devo Bhava, this is the phrase that we use for the guest, which means guest is the representative of God. And the other two pictures really, touched me. These are the pictures sent by one of the past students. I think she participated with us in 2014-15. I don't even remember the year. But I wrote that statement, Atiti Devo Bhava, for her on a piece of paper, and she kept that, you know, s- all these years with her and finally got a tattoo on her back with Atiti Devo Bhava last year. So that was really touching for me. So we make lifelong connections when you come to such programs. Can we move on to the next slide? Yeah, so this slide and many more coming slides, I want to show that India is a very, very diverse country, very diverse, very rich in culture, very rich in heritage. Uh, so in this picture, what we want to say is with those hats, that there is diversity within India. It is I always say that it is 29 countries in India, not 29 states in India, because each state has different um, different culture altogether. So coming to the population, it is, we have, you just have to name a religion and it is present in India. So maximum is Hindus, of course, then we have Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains, Jews, and you just name a religion and we will have that in India. So that the diversity is really rich. Next slide, please. India loves to celebrate, and being, having so many cultures and people from every religion in India, India is definitely a land of festivals. We have festivals for every season, every region, every religion, and every religious place. So we generally follow the solar and lunar calendars for the dates of the festivals. So generally, the festivals do not fall on the same dates, but it is mostly the same time of the year or same month of the year if we go by the English calendar. So we celebrate as per the Hindu calendars, which is, or, not really Hindu calendars, but the positions of sun and moon. Even for the other festivals like Muslim festivals, it doesn't fall on the same date, but we love to celebrate. So I can give you some glimpses of the festivals that we celebrate here in India when we move to the next slide. Maria, please. So here are some important festivals. Holi is the festival of colors. We generally have students here during Holi and they love to celebrate with us. So it is basically the festival of spring, and this signifies the victory of good over evil. Diwali is one of the biggest festivals of India. It is celebrated across India. But people in different parts of India, they connect with different gods and goddesses when we come to Diwali. So in this picture only, we have different ways of celebrating Diwali. So this is one of the students whose videos you just saw. She is doing some floor art, which is very popular in India during Diwali time, in my house with my daughter and her friends. Then the goddess you see in the pictures, this ritual is from eastern part of India, but I have that in my own house. And then we visit also Sikh temples to light candles. So basically, victory of light over darkness, good over evil. And we believe in India that all the festivals have a significance, and the same significance is like the victory of good over darkness and good over evil and knowledge over ignorance. That is the spirit of festivals. Um, Coming to Durga Puja, again, this is a 4-day long festival. This is mainly celebrated in eastern parts of India, but being in Delhi means you are in a very, very diverse culture, because we have people living in Delhi from all parts of the world. Being a capital city, metropolitan city, Delhi celebrates everything. So this is one of the major festivals from Eastern India called Durga Puja. And mainly I already said it's a 4-day festival. So paying homage to a Hindu goddess called Durga. So next slide, please. Then we have so many other festivals. As I said before, we have festival for every reason. So we have brother and sister festivals. We have, Saraswati Puja, where learning is worshipped and goddess of wisdom is worshipped. We have husband and wife festival, Karwa Chauth, where women generally fast for their husbands, but my husband fasts with me. So I'm very blessed with that. Um, Navratri, it is a 9-day festival that celebrates 9 forms of Goddess Durga. We have Shraddh, where we pay homage, where we, remember our ancestors. We have harvest festivals, again, celebrating end of winter in different parts of India with different names, but the spirit remains the same. Then we also celebrate different Eid ul Fitr, Eid ul Adha, Halloween, Christmas, New Year's are celebrated with lot of enthusiasm. Coming to the next slide. When we talk about landscapes, they are also not untouched. When we talk about diversity, you just have to think about, what kind of landscape you want to be in. And we have that in India. You just need to travel up and down. So we have Himalayas. You can see people in the picture, doing trekking in the Himalayas. Plus, we also have deserts. So one of the biggest deserts, that is the seventh largest desert of the world, Thar Desert, is present in India. We have whitewater rafting. We have backwaters down south in Kerala. We have ocean, seas, tea and coffee plantations. So landscape is very, very diverse. Through Himalayas and other mountain ranges. We have forests, lakes, we have plains, we have lush green rainforest, forested mountains. So you just need to know where to go to see all that. Can we go to the next slide? Yes, thank you. So in India, food is really, really important. So when we talk about food, it is not just part of Indian culture, like playing role in everyday life, but also it is very important in festivals, in family get-togethers. We ensure that if somebody is visiting our house, we always cook what they like to eat. And our meals are generally two to three, main course dishes. Plus, we have various accompaniments like pickles and chutneys like cilantros. We have carbohydrate staples, rice and roti. Roti is an Indian bread. Again, it has lots of diversity. There is a lot of diversity in just the bread also, plus desserts. So it is very important way of socializing, getting together with family and friends. We use a lot of herbs and spices. We have large assortment of dishes. Cooking styles vary again from region to region. So if we are making simple lentils in north, the same lentil in northern India would be very rich with a lot of clarified butter. Uh, the same lentil can taste different in southern India with tamarind and a lot of coconut oil. In the When we go to Western India, we add sugar to every preparation. In Eastern India, it could be, again, use of coconut. So a simple dish can be made in different varieties depending on which part of India you are in. Coming to the globalization, so when you are in India, you really don't miss your home food because we do get American food, plus we do also have, the in international version of Indian foods. So that is what globalization has brought to the cuisines also. And in India, as I said in the beginning, we treat guest as the representative of God. And, for the same reason, we love to feed people and we express our love and concern by feeding people in India. So, yes. Uh, Diversity is everywhere, as I said in the beginning. So even the attire of India, I would just give you a small example here. If you look at these pictures, the first three pictures at least, it is the same 6 yard long cloth material, which is called sari. But in different parts of India, it is draped in different ways. So if you give a closer look to these pictures, all the sari, everybody is wearing the similar garment, but it is draped in different styles depending on which part of India you are in. So it has really evolved over time, and British and India has been ruled by British and Mughals for a long time, so that is also visible uh, in our costumes. So when you visit India, you see there is so much of diversity, so much of variation in the garments as well. Fashion became very, very known, phenomena through 1980s and 1990s because Bollywood industry had really thriving. International shoots started happening. So now we have all types of garments. We have Indo-Western garments. Mostly in the cities, you will see people wearing starting from, suits and sarees to all kinds of Western clothes and Indo-Western, uh, version of clothes as well. So yeah. In the next picture, you see salwar kameez or churidar. That is also the Indian dress. And lehenga choli is one of the dresses that is mostly wore during the festivals or occasions or, special festivals. Can we go to the next slide, please? Again, for men also, we have different kinds of traditional wear, but mostly now, traditionally, people wear jeans and pants with shirts and t-shirts, and all these pictures that you see with lot of different names like Achkan Sherwani, Bandgala, Angrakha Jama. So all these clothes are mostly now occasional wear. So people love to wear these mostly during the festivals or weddings in the family or special occasions. So yeah. Next slide, please. Marriages really are festive here. It can run depending from family to family. It could be 4 to 5 days ceremony, uh, mostly celebrated with lots of decorations, color, music, dance, rituals, different colorful costumes. The rituals depend from, vary from community to community, region to region, and religion to religion of the bride and the groom. In these pictures, what you see is a North Indian Hindu wedding where, the boy is riding a horse with the procession, people dancing with the procession and heading towards the bride's house. This is in the next picture, you see bride entering the wedding venue. Exchange of garlands is very, very important ceremony when we talk about weddings. Then going around the fire 7 times with 7 vows for each other. And lastly, the departure of the bride from the parents' house. And in the picture, you will see she's throwing some grains behind. So every ritual has some meaning, and this means that she is leaving the prosperity behind in her parents' house. So that is what all the pictures depict. And but you have to be here to experience an Indian wedding. And we always try, if there is a wedding in a family or if we are going for any wedding, we try to take students with us when they are here with us. So something not to be missed while you are here in India. Coming to the programs, so this is just the brief overview for the Delhi program, Global Health in India in Delhi. We mostly concentrate on the, public health related organizations. So we have three main themes here. So water and sanitation, social services NGOs, we have safety net programs, we have programs for marginalized populations, which could be clinical, non-clinical, interactive. So mostly, you know, um, you are visiting these places, you are visiting these safety net programs, you are actually visiting these marginalized populations and learning, firsthand. So it is not just the lectures that we tell you about these, but we actually take you in the field to see all this and experience all this. We have Aman here who will talk more about her experience in Delhi. Before that, we can move to the next slide. So this is Global Health in India in Dehradun and rural Himalayas. So in Dehradun, it is all clinical program. We have primary care clinics, we have secondary care hospitals, nursing homes. Plus we have this hospital in the Himalayas. It is purposely marked so you see the entry and then you see uphill. That's the hospital where students go and live and work along with the staff of the hospital. And we have Samiksha here who did this program, so she will talk more about her experiences. And at the end, I'm here and all of us are here to answer any questions that you may have. So over to Aman and then Samiksha talk about their experiences here in India. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, there was another slide. So, we have language classes. We give you some orientation about Hindi language. We do cultural tours in the nearby program rotations. Visit to Taj Mahal is one of the highlight when you are in India, so you would not like to miss that. And as I said, participation in local festivals and get-togethers is one of the key. So in the pictures you see, this is one of the pictures. We went for lunch, so we took all the students, for the cultural exchange with us. Here they are doing the Old Delhi sightseeing, and one of my favorite pictures in Old Delhi. So I think that is all from India slides before we hand it over to Aman. Thanks, Aman.
Hi, folks. Thanks, Hema. That was amazing. So to talk a little bit about my CFHI experience, I went last year from June to July. I was there for about 5 weeks. And I did the program as an undergrad student. So I didn't do like a practicum like most of the med school and master's students do, but I got to do rotations for all 5 weeks, which was so lovely, really fascinating. First picture here is the whole group in June. This was us in Jaipur. The first weekend we were there, we went to Jaipur and Agra, which was absolutely beautiful. And regardless of whether or not you do the program, which you should do the program, but either way, at some point in your life, you must go to Jaipur. It's the most beautiful city I've ever been to in my life. We can go to the next slide. Um, some quick photos. So for rotations, the first couple weeks of the program, we would have rotations much more regularly and would get to visit a different site every few days. Whether it was a NGO or a government hospital or other sort of government clinic. We got to learn about a variety of different public health issues and got to see different aspects of how medicine is practiced in India. So I remember, for instance, we went to like an addiction services clinic. We went to like an HIV/AIDS clinic and the water and sanitation organization. And then as part of that too, we learned about an organization called Naidisha that we actually got to go visit. They're not based in New Delhi. So one of the cool things about the program too is you don't necessarily spend your whole time in just the one city. It was really lovely that as part of the program, we got to go for a day trip to Rajasthan and meet the wonderful people who are involved in Naidisha, an organization that supports women who are part of what was, well, formerly part of what is considered the like lowest caste, or like they call them the untouchables, but like a group that is historically discriminated and economically disenfranchised and gives them opportunity, education, work, and all sorts of support. And we got to meet these women and hear their stories. And I don't know if you can see it in the picture, but they did my henna, and it was absolutely stunning. And it was just a really wonderful experience. So it's amazing because we got to learn about public health from a very interdisciplinary perspective and see how different organizations like address these problems in different ways. Which was really amazing. I think, like Mariah said earlier, the program does a really good job of showing you the strengths of the work that's being done in different places around the world. So it gave me a really incredible appreciation for the work that's being done by dedicated people in India. Um, and around the same time, we also went to the Taj Mahal, so that's there too. But the amount of beautiful sites that are only a couple hours drive away, and Hema's really amazing at helping us plan our weekend trips and make like dreams possible. So it was really wonderful to go see a wonder of the world on a weekend. For the next slide, I think the other things, yes. We also did get to do some rotations after that were longer. So I had 1 week where I was with a palliative care organization that does home visits and got to learn about how they are approaching um, caring for cancer patients. And it was very interesting to see the approach being both based in Western medicine, but also in like naturopathy and homeopathy and the importance of like building emotional support networks for patients. It was really, really fulfilling to see that. And then right after that, got to go to a corporate hospital where I met some really wonderful people, amazing physicians and doctors who were so sweet and welcoming. And we took this picture together during my rotation. They were really wonderful. And I learned a lot through them about how much international healthcare happens in India. India is actually like a really large hub for global medicine. So patients from around the world come to India to get high-end care, like high quality care at a low cost. Like patients from the US, UK, from West Africa, Southeast Asia were all at this hospital. And I got to ask them questions about why they chose to come here for their care and their experiences with that, which was super fascinating. And ended up being the thing that I kind of wrote about for my university on the study abroad program. And then last photo here as well. One of the things that we did during the weekends, we can also kind of take longer trips that are further out. So at one point, I got to go visit Punjab and see my family in Punjab, which was really amazing. I hadn't seen them since I was 5, so that was life-changing. I don't know how to put that into words. But I also have this photo from when I went to go see the Himalayas. In Rishikesh, where we got to go participate in yoga on International Yoga Day and see the Ganga Aarti, which is one of those rituals or festivals that Hema mentioned. And the Ganga Aarti in the summer happens every day in Rishikesh, which is amazing. It was really, really cool to see and learn more about various rituals and traditions that exist in Hinduism and in Indian culture. So it overall, I could not recommend it enough. I think I made lots of good friends. It's a great experience from an academic, professional standpoint, but also just very fulfilling emotionally, spiritually, personally. So with that, I'll pass it over to Samiksha to talk about her experience.
Awesome. Thank you. It's always nice to hear about other people's experience on the program too. So thank you for passing it on. To review, my name is Samiksha. I am currently a fourth year undergraduate student studying public health, as well as I've got minors in public policy, statistics, and history. So I'm definitely interested in taking a holistic look at healthcare systems and healthcare policy, global health, and this trip really catered to those academic interests, as well as a personal interest in exploring, where my family is originally from in India, but someplace that I have not necessarily gotten to experience before. So this program definitely fulfilled all sorts of needs that I didn't even know I had before embarking on it. So this first picture here, before I jump into what my weeks looked like, is I think. Uh, we landed at night, and this is the very next morning. We immediately started exploring Delhi with the friends that uh, we made the same day. So definitely, beyond the specific appeal of the program activities and the cities, the chance to connect with other students who are just as interested in ethical fair trade global health opportunities is, unmatched. Now I have, connections across the world who have those shared interests and were wonderful to travel with. I'll go ahead and go to the next slide. Okay, so to get into my first week, that was spent in Delhi before, going on to the Dehradun and rural Himalayas section of the program. And this first week was just an excellent opportunity to, spend time with Hima and the other staff in Delhi to really get oriented with the city, with the country, the culture, before embarking on the rest of our rotations. So even just navigating the public transport systems, we used everything from auto rickshaws to the metro to Ubers, all buses, trains during this trip, and starting to do that first week was an excellent form of immersion that was really cool and a new experience for me. And then in the middle here, I have a picture of us going to one of our rotation sites that I think I connected with a lot. It was a rehabilitation center for young boys who were struggling with drug addiction in certain parts of Delhi. And, I really appreciated how in this program there was so much opportunity to really converse with and engage in dialogue with the professionals that were running these programs, these really experienced public health practitioners. So, there was always someone there to answer every question I could have had about what the implementation of such an important rehabilitation program looks like, and why exactly it's a public health issue in this region, what sorts of factors drive the population to have to struggle with addiction, things like that. So definitely a um, very educational and again immersive day. I'll go ahead and go to the next slide. Then after, those NGO public health rotations that first week in Delhi, we took a quick weekend trip to Jaipur and Agra. Again, I think Aman covered it very well. It's such a beautiful, beautiful place. Um, I have that picture there from Amar Fort where we watched a light show of um, the lights were projected onto the fort, and at the same time, there was like an audible narration of the history of the fort and the history of the city. Being, personally interested in history myself, that was, a very great experience for several reasons. And then obviously a wonder of the world, that's an excellent thing to check off a bucket list while also engaging in global health. And there I include a picture of just all the people I was traveling with that weekend. And I think I don't know that you would necessarily put all of us in a room in any other situation, just because we come from different places, different educational backgrounds, we're all different ages even in that picture. And so a program like this one and programs offered by CFHI is really gives that opportunity for a diverse group of people even to experience global health education and everything else that these cities have to offer. I'll go ahead and go to the next slide. Okay, then after that, we spent a week in Missouri. So, like Hema mentioned, we spent time in Lander Community Hospital. I have some images that bottom image there. You can't see it, but the building that's basically in the side of that mountain or hill, that is the hospital. So, really rooted in that. Really, it's very clearly rooted in this, this distinct geographic qualities. So that really shaped the care that the hospital was providing because it really served as this like epicenter that all sorts of communities were traveling to receive medical care. That shaped the fact that there were so many forms of care available there. I was shadowing an eye doctor, a dentist, then also, an occupational therapist, a orthopedic surgeon, and then just general medicine. So much care provided by a relatively small staff in this hospital. Um, and there was so much flexibility to observe whoever's position you were interested in or whatever form of care you were interested in, and also just witness how those providers interacted with one another, and how the hospital runs. It's a very unique setup that's shaped to the needs of this region because of its, geography and just culture as well. And so it's like a public health student's dream come true. There's so much there to reflect on and learn from. I'll go ahead and go to the next slide. Yeah, and then once we returned down from Missouri into the valley is Dehradun. And so after the very urban urban experience in Delhi and then the rural experience in the Himalayas, right, Mussoorie, Dehradun is this really beautiful middle ground. It was definitely a calm breath of fresh air. Where we were staying in Dehradun was right next to the Forest Research Institute, so lots of trees, and so the air is just amazing to breathe in that city, and it has so much to offer that I can't even begin to put into words. But more specifically, though, the rotations we did here, again, like it was mentioned, are more secondary care. So we shadowed in an OBGYN clinic, a cardiology hospital, And then interestingly, we also got to rotate in an Ayurvedic clinic and homeopathic clinic. So this is a really great opportunity to really understand how these traditional forms of medicine serve a, a really useful purpose within the healthcare system of India. And I think observing how those providers had very deep and long-standing relationships with their parents or with their patients, had very uh, engaged appointment styles and just overall that patient-provider relationship that exists in both the homeopathic and Ayurvedic clinics was really wonderful to observe. And it was clear how the trust that was being built between the patient and provider often like filled the gaps that allopathic care sometimes leaves in a uh, more allopathic hospital setting, if that makes sense. And I genuinely think that the understanding that is best achieved by literally witnessing those patient interactions. So that was a wonderful opportunity in that city. And then I also included some pictures of food here throughout the trip. Food was such a wonderful experience for me. But in there, then especially, we got local mangoes every morning with our breakfasts, and we went to the local spots, and it was an excellent cuisine to get to partake in. So I had a great time. I think um, over the course of the 4 weeks that I was there, I learned a lot as a public health student, but also grew a lot as a person, just building relationships with so many people. You don't always get to be in scenarios where you're forced to build relationships with professionals like this, and it's taught me skills that I'll carry throughout the rest of my career in education, and then also an amazing immersive experience in the culture and geography of this region of North India that I would not have gotten to explore otherwise. So that's, I'll stop there, but thank you for the opportunity to share.
Thank you both so much. It's so beautiful just to hear about your experience and how it really was transformational in different ways, not only like great exposure to public health, maybe some clinical settings for some of your rotations, but also just all of the like amazing skills that you learned to communicate with other students, professionals, learning about the healthcare system, learning about culture and social determinants of health and barriers to care and all of that. So it was really beautiful just to hear like how it did like shape you as a person, and how you're still reflecting on that 1 year later. So thank you both for sharing so much. That was great. I just have a couple of comments really quickly for anyone who hasn't enrolled yet. The next steps are to apply on our website. So you can go to cfhi.org and find all of our programs there. When you're ready to apply, it's really simple. You just need to click apply now, create an account, and then start an application. Once you start the application, you'll need to provide a reference as well as fill out the application form. But then after that, we accept you to the program and we'll get you set up with all the next steps, which include an online orientation, a welcome email, and then there'll be various forms and trainings that you work on before you go. So we're going to make sure you're really prepared for the experience. And last but not least, I want to share a scholarship opportunity that we have. This is called the Spirit of India Global Health Scholarship. Uh, it's a scholarship that applies only to programs in October this year. So I definitely encourage you to apply for it if you're looking at traveling or going to India in October through CFHI. It's a really great opportunity to, immerse yourself in the culture and have one of these experiences that the alumni had a chance to share with us today. So I'm going to put our scholarships page in the chat, and if you're interested in applying for this scholarship and going in October this year, you'll be able to apply for it, and I'll stop there. And let me pass it back to Hema, in case there's anything last that you wanted to share.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you, Mariah, Aman, and Samiksha for putting everything together. So, yeah, anyone, I'm happy to answer any questions if you have, but we are here to welcome you and we hope that you join us here in India and experience India, because experiencing India is a completely different thing than talking about India. So that is all. India is very, very rich, has lots to offer. So please, yeah, sign up if you haven't signed up yet, and just be ready to change as a person and as a professional also. So thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you so much. Looks like we have one question. Spots available for the July cohort? I believe so. Feel free to email students at cfhi.org if you have questions about applying. But yeah, there's spots for both programs in July. So yeah, you can start the application process and let us know if you have any questions. Any other questions? All right.
Any
Well,
questions about the experiences? We have Aman and Samiksha. I know we are already up by 2 minutes, so
no worries. For practicum question, I can help you with that. It is a little bit of an extra process because we need to set up a project for you essentially. So I'm going to put my email in the chat. So Amira, you please feel free to email me. But usually we count about 30 to 40 hours per week, and the minimum duration to do a practicum is 4 weeks. But yeah, feel free to email me and I can get you squared away with next steps to set up a practicum. All right. Well, it looks like there aren't any other questions. If you are going abroad on this trip this summer, you'll have a chance to connect with Tamiksha because she is one of our alumni advisors. So save your questions for then as well. But otherwise, we are looking forward to hopefully welcoming all of you to India this summer. All right. Thank you, everyone.
right.